What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you a video today to discuss Ronaldo potentially leaving Real Madrid. A lot of you guys have been asking me to talk about this situation, and obviously I read the news just like everybody else. Everyone has access to the same information, so I didn't necessarily want to discuss that in a video. I don't have Ronaldo's personal phone number where I could call him and get the inside scoop for you guys. Wish I did. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But what I did want to discuss in a video on this topic is how Nike could play a really big role in this transfer if it does end up happening. So that's what we're going to talk about in just a second. So for those that don't know the situation, basically Ronaldo has stated to the media that he's unhappy with basically the Spanish media, the Spanish government, and the Spanish police. He feels like he's been mistreated because, for those that don't know, he was recently charged with tax evasion, something like 14 million euros, which is a ton of money, but comparatively to how much he's worth, which is literally $1 billion, I would think, 14 million euros is not something that is going to stress him out at all. So he's obviously pleading innocent. Obviously, he's been charged in the process. The legal process could take forever. We saw this with Messi and his tax evasion situation. He's basically just going to get probation, so he's not going to end up going to jail. It's going to work out just fine for him. But Ronaldo is very, very unhappy about this particular situation, so much so that he has basically said publicly that he wants to leave Real Madrid. So with all of that in mind, where is he going to go if he leaves Real Madrid? So for those that don't know, Ronaldo is signed to a lifetime contract with Nike. Obviously, he is the main face of the brand when it comes to football/soccer. He's the main face of the Mercurial line. He is, in my opinion, the most marketable athlete on the planet, especially if you're talking about football, soccer specifically. You can make the argument about Ronaldo and Messi, who's the best player all day long. But when it comes to actually selling product, being a marketable face and name, nobody outsells Ronaldo. It's not even close when you're talking about that particular debate. So he is a very, very valuable asset for Nike, which is why they signed him to a lifetime contract. With a lot of these big name players, once they retire, once they're done playing, the brands are not nearly as involved. They're not nearly as interested because they're no longer in the public eye like they are in their playing days. But with a guy like Cristiano Ronaldo, he is one of the most famous people in the world. So even once he retires, obviously Nike still wants his involvement in their marketing. They want his face, they want his name to be able to use it basically as long as he's alive and probably after that as well. Anyways, the reason why this is so important is because right now, Real Madrid is an Adidas club. That's who Ronaldo plays for. So he has no choice but to wear Adidas gear when playing for Real Madrid. And if you notice, you'll never see a Nike ad where Ronaldo is wearing any kind of Real Madrid gear for obvious reasons. They're not going to advertise their competition. If you see a Ronaldo ad, he's obviously in some kind of generic Nike apparel, or he's in the Portuguese national team stuff, which obviously is a Nike-sponsored club or Nike-sponsored country. They have the deal to supply the kits for that particular team. So if Ronaldo were to leave to another club, I would think that Nike would want very, very strongly for him to go to another Nike club. Now, I know a lot of people want Ronaldo to go back to Manchester United. That's one of the stronger rumors out there. But Manchester United is no longer a Nike club. They're now an Adidas kit. So that, to me, would be a little bit of a roadblock in terms of Ronaldo going there, because you not only have to consider where Ronaldo wants to go, which is probably going to be a big factor here, but you also have to consider the transfer fee that's going to be required to pull him away from Real Madrid, which is likely going to be pretty steep. I'm not sure if it's going to be a world record transfer fee at this point, given that he is getting up there in age, and I'm not sure he's necessarily going to be demanding a world record transfer fee because of how many years you're necessarily going to get out of him from a performance standpoint. But the value that he brings to your club from a marketing standpoint, from a sales standpoint, is something that I don't even think you can measure. So what I think would happen is that Nike would be willing to pay a large chunk of the transfer fee if that transfer was to a Nike club. And let's say they threw in $30 million to add to the transfer cost to whatever club that's trying to buy them that is a Nike-sponsored club. Yeah, $30 million is a lot of money for Nike to cough up, but the second that that transfer is announced, I would be very, very surprised if they didn't sell a ton of Ronaldo shirts for that new club that he's now going to be a part of. So the sales from just the shirts alone could potentially pay for that transfer fee that they threw in there in order to get him at a Nike club in the first place. So that's where I see this potentially unfolding in terms of where he might go. Is definitely pay attention to the sponsor for the kits of the club that he's potentially rumored to go to, because I would bet that Nike wants very, very badly for him to be at a Nike club versus an Adidas club or any other brand for that matter, because it not only is better for Nike in terms of sales, it's much easier for them to market a guy like Ronaldo if he's playing for a big club that also happens to wear a Nike kit. So something to consider, not necessarily something that is fact at this point in time, but I do think that this is going to play a huge role in where he might end up after everything is said and done. Let me know your opinions on this down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.